It's your first at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Big day here, obviously. And there's only two tracks. There's only two tracks that you have not won a pole at.
Kentucky.
Kentucky is one.
I don't know that.
Begins with a K. The other one does.
No, I've sat on pole at Kansas, haven't I?
Yeah.
No,
I don't know.
no,
Mike,
Edward says
Mike
no.
Ford says he hasn't.
Oh.
So
okay,
we'll
he's probably right.
Okay. But
right. Good to know.
Anyhow, also a track qualifying record today. 27.738 seconds translates into 194.679. Congratulations, Jeff. Here you are, sitting on the pole Sunday, leading the field in your final start here at Las Vegas. What does that feel like?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I mean, I knew we had a strong car in practice, especially when we were in qualifying trim, and I was a little bit nervous the first round. I went down into one, and I knew the conditions had cooled down slightly, and I felt like there was going to be a little bit more grip. And I went down into one, and it just, I don't know if I missed my line or just was too aggressive, but I got into the bumps, and the car moved around a lot, and it just didn't stick the way I was hoping it would. So it wasn't a very good lap, but good enough to get through. And then round two, I was a little bit more conservative getting into one and just got my line. And maybe the air pressure's built up a little bit. The car flew through 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4, I was maybe a little bit conservative. So still a really solid lap. And then, went on to round 3 and, saw some lap times that were up there before us and knew that if we were going to stay on the pole, we're going to have to be fully committed to, trying to go as close to wide open as possible. And it was really, really close. I can't wait to look at the throttle trace, but the car was just amazing. And I came off turn 4, and, I felt pretty confident that was going to be either close enough or good enough. And it was. So it was awesome. After last week and that whole mess, it was great to get out there and qualify. Great to get some redemption for 3M and the team. And, this feels amazing. I mean, I can't believe this is my first pole here at Las Vegas, and it happens in my final race here, so that's pretty cool.
Questions for Jeff? We'll start right here with Mark. Go ahead.
Mark Anderson, Las Vegas View Journal. Wasn't NASCAR supposed to slow down the cars this year, and how can you explain the speeds?
It's unbelievable. We talked to them about when you pull out power, you go faster through the middle of the corner, and I think that the whole goal was to take downforce out to make up for that. And I think a lot of us would like to have seen a little bit more downforce taken out of it, but yet I understand it happens in steps, and so they took a step, but the teams are just so good at getting some of that back, and when you can hold it wide open like that, it's amazing just how good the cars stick. But what's even crazier is the tire's harder than the one. I mean, that's a downside, I think, to this whole package, is that the goal is to slow the cars down through the middle of the corner so that we can get some softer tires in there and see more fall off, and hope that the racing, that you see a little bit more passing side by side. But because of the corner speeds being so fast, Goodyear has to make it harder. So I think that, they've taken a step. Now they're going to see, how it works, and I think the racing is going to be really good, and I think the action is going to be good. So from that standpoint, I like it. But it's a learning experience, and I think that NASCAR would gather that information, and as the year goes on, do some testing and see what we can do to maybe pull some more downforce out of the cars.
Gentleman right here.
Alan Bailey, Aaron. Jeff, you look at 2015, your final year. You went into Daytona, you got the pole there, didn't technically have a chance to qualify last week, and then this week you get the pole again. That's got to be great, that 2 for 2 so far in your attempted qualifying effort. And going down pit road.
I like where you're going with it.
Yeah, exactly, right? Look, going down pit road, fans are screaming, reconsider, reconsider. Does that thought process even enter your mind?
I was thinking about just ending it right there. Just like, I'm out of here. See ya.
Mic drop.
Make sure you take your blackjack table.
Yeah, I'll take my blackjack table. I mean, I'm not leaving because I don't feel like I'm competitive anymore, or that I'm not with the best team. I'm leaving because it just feels like the right time. The stars have aligned, and the moment is here to do something different. And that's and I don't think there's anything more exciting than the opportunity to go out there and win races and poles, and maybe if we're even fortunate enough to go battle for that championship. I can't sit here and sit on one pole and go, okay, we're going to win the championship. But I think we are a very good race team. We haven't shown all of it yet. And, there's nothing to me that is sweeter than to be able to go have that kind of experience in your final year. So there's no reconsidering.
Let's go right here to Brant, and we'll go over to Lee. Brant and then Lee.
Jenny, you had the opportunity to talk me out of it, and you didn't take it. Just letting you know. Reminding you, sorry. Go ahead.
Brant James, USA Today Sports. What went better either with the inspection process from the NASCAR side or the team side so all that bizarre stuff didn't happen again this week?
Oh, it happened. Same thing happened. So, they I don't know. Somehow they got the cars out there this time. But the same thing. I mean, when we had to go through twice. We're going through there and we go through and our camera's one thing one time, it's something different the next, and we never touch a single thing. So they got some. I don't think that people realize how much weather and whether it's humidity, temperature, just I don't know what all can the environment can change. They can change those points that are there, and but. We know where we're trying to push the limits, and we know where we haven't touched anything. And when you go through there and it's not 100% consistent, it makes you nervous. It makes those crew chiefs extremely nervous. So we went through and had to go back through, and there's a ton of cars that had to go through a second time. So, luckily NASCAR, shortened the practice by 10 minutes. I would like them to add 10 minutes at the beginning of practice since we didn't start till 12. But or 11, whatever it was. But I think that maybe it's going to take a little while, or maybe we got to I don't know. But it happened again, and somehow all the cars got out there on pit road. That's all I know.
Go over here to Lee, and then Dominic, and then Stan.
Lee Spencer, Motorsport.com. Dale Jr. said he said he didn't hold it wide open, so if he didn't get the pole to blame him, did you hold it wide open around the entire lap?
I mean, I can't say it was just flat. When it's flat, you're pushing against it and it's not moving. So, I think my brain wanted to, or maybe my foot wanted to. My brain didn't. I don't know. Some part of me said don't hold it wide open, but I was having a little bit of issue when I got down to the center of the corner where the front tires were just sliding ever so slight. And I was concerned if I just really ran it wide open, I was going to push through those front tires. And so I can't wait to see the throttle trace, now that we have that data, which I love, because I certainly don't feel like I cracked out of it much. When I came out turn 4, I felt like, that was enough throttle. But I'm also very fortunate Hendrick Motorsports makes great power, and so that we have the ability to maybe just crack out of it the tiniest bit and still be able to carry that kind of speed. But I look forward to comparing my throttle traces to see, because I don't feel like it was 100% wide open. There's 100% that it never changes, and then there's 100% where it goes to 95, 93%. And so I think that, it would have done something like that. You can run wide open when you leave pit road and you get off 2. You can run wide open all the way to turn 1, really easy. But to go wide open through those bumps in 1 and 2, I think is a little bit, risky. So down here, probably closer to wide open.
Raise your hand back there, David. You got a question? Or Dominic? Dominic had a question. You got one too, David? All right. Go ahead, sir.
Mark Anthony DeBello, reality TV contestants, DPC. A little bit off the beaten track, Jeff.
You want to say that again?
Mark Anthony DeBello, reality TV contestants and DPC Productions.
Got it. Good job.
God bless you. Thank you.
Wow.
A little bit off the beaten track. I loved your Leonardo DiCaprio story. Can you share another story like that, maybe for your career or in Vegas?
Which one?
The one where he didn't know who you were at a party and you had wanted to meet him.
Yeah. Okay. Because I just saw him in December, so I was making sure I didn't tell a story about December. Yeah, it was a long time ago, and I was...
Well, not necessarily that one. Do you have another one for your entire career that you can share?
Not that I can remember. I mean, we had this talk earlier. Were you in here earlier when I was talking about my memory? Yeah. See, you sparked something whenever I told that story, or whoever you heard that story from or read that story from. Somehow something sparked that memory. I don't have... Matthew McConaughey has a really good story. When he came to the Daytona 500, I think it was 05, because I believe it's the year that we won it. I can't tell that story here, but it's a funny one. So if you ever see him, ask him to tell it. It's way better coming from him anyway.
Good deal. Let's go back there to Dominic. You have a question?
Yes, Dominic Otto on the racingexperts.com. Jeff, just based on your practice speeds and before qualifying, how confident were you that you and your team could sit on the pole today?
Well, I mean, we were second in practice, so, I mean, I felt pretty good about it. I wasn't feeling as good after the first round, I can tell you that. You know, I ran about the same time as I ran in practice, and we were, 14th. So, you know, I didn't think that it was a clean lap, but at the same time, I didn't know if I was going to be able to make a clean lap after that. I mean, I was trying the first time. It didn't work out. But the second time, you know, it just kind of all came together. So, you know, after the second round, I thought we had a shot at it. I really did. You know, that was a good lap. I felt like I had a little bit more that I could push the car. And that when that sun went down, the track temperature started getting cooler, a little bit more grip. You know, I felt like I could, you know, push it hard enough to possibly get it. But those guys started putting some pretty fast lap times up there. I was like, ooh, man, I don't know how I'm going to go much faster than I did earlier, and luckily we were able to.
David, do you have a question? Go ahead.
David Swope with ESPN Radio Albuquerque. Looking at the qualifying here, you've got 3 Hendricks cars in the top 4 and 4 in the top 9. Have you guys really kind of found something in this mile-and-a-half track setup?
That's a good question. I mean, it's early. It's still maybe too early to tell. You know, last week's a much different experience in race car or racetrack, you know, than this one. You know, this one, you're a lot more wide open throttle. I think it's probably a testament to our engine shop. I think they're making really good power. And I think that certainly showed up today. But our cars are pretty darn good, too. I mean, you know, we work really hard. We've got a lot of smart people. We work well together with our teammates and gathering information and communicating. And, you know, it seems to be paying off right now.
One more question right here. Stan, right over here, Jen.
Hey, Jeff, Stan Creekmore with Competition Plus. So how confident are you that you can convert what you did today into solid practice tomorrow and a real good chance to win on Sunday?
Well, I mean, I'm more confident now than I was earlier today. You know, I mean, we did 2 practice runs that were sort of mock race runs, you know, I didn't run many laps, and I was having some struggles over the bumps. And then we went over into qualifying trim, and the car was really, really good. So I was pretty confident for qualifying. We got a little bit of work to do for the race. But if we can get over the bumps in 1 and 2, I feel very confident that you know, we can be as strong as we were today in the race. Thank you.
Jeff, thank you very much.
Yep.
Congratulations.